Alright. Who am I? My name is Christopher Lamont Schofield. I was born in Richmond, Virginia in 1995. I was born to Christopher Melton Schofield and Melissa Yvette Denby. I have 2 sisters, 6 cousins, and, well, a lot of aunts and uncles. And growing up was an adventure in itself. My earliest memory is of my mom and dad laying at home playing a football game. My mom winning, yelling victoriously, me in my crib just laughing. Well, 3 years later, another memory was my dad beating my mom after he took me and my sister to get McDonald's. So I sat on the sidewalk eating a Happy Meal while I watched my father taken into a cop car and drove away. The next couple of years were a little rocky for my father. When I was a kid, I was slightly an outcast. I just didn't do everything everyone else did. I was considered the white guy in our school. My name was very whitish, I guess. I didn't talk with all the slang cuss words the other kids use. I used complete sentences, and something about me made them think of Caucasians, I guess. I grew up not really liking rap music, not really liking the things everybody else in my neighborhood liked. I wasn't a star basketball player, I wasn't a great football player, and I had no aspirations to become anything really. So I just grew up, I was a smart kid, I guess. I got B's and A's, so I guess I was good. Well, in 4th grade, there was a car accident. My father was shot 3 times and crashed his car. He died instantly. That Friday, I went to a funeral in Pennsylvania, and my last thing I ever said to my father was goodbye. As he laid in the casket, he was more happy in that casket than I've ever seen in life. He was a troubled man. He was bipolar. He was kind of crazy. He was in jail, in and out of jail a lot. A lot of things going on in his life. Well, the next day, as I laid in bed, I just thought about death. I've never been encountered with death before, and it was just a startling image that at any second you could be gone. Well, after a while, I kind of became enveloped by death. I became depressed. I stopped really enjoying all the things I enjoyed. I kept laughing and having fun with everybody else, but secretly in my mind, I was shunning them. I was saying how much of sinners they were, how horrible they were, how much I hated them. I just laid there and I contemplated suicide, see how easily I could do it without anyone knowing what I've done. I grew up like this for maybe I was in this depression for maybe 2 years before I had met Danny Avula. He was just a cool guy who was walking his dog Jackson around the park. We got to talking and we became friends, I guess. I went to his house, I watched his dog, played foosball in his basement, used his computer, and I met some of his other friends, Corey and Sarah Whitmer. And one day Sarah told me about his after-school program at Percy Strickland's house, and reluctantly I went. And his house was a pretty big house from the outside, but inside it was packed wall to wall with people, just people running around, yelling, screaming, laughing, yelling, crying. It was just a lot of people doing a lot of things at one time. I thought it was a madhouse. I didn't know how he could operate his house with people just running around every day. But he was, I have to say, happy. I mean, he was happy as he came down the stairs and saw the destruction in his house, and happy as he let the kids walk away while he had to clean up the mess later. It was inspiring to see that someone could be happy watching kids destroy his home. I realized that he had started this program to help inner city kids. He started CHAT, which is Church Activities and Tutoring, to help kids who wouldn't normally get help in their neighborhood. He would have us read books and write essays and do all this stuff that I didn't even do in school. It was interesting, to say the least. Well, I started going to CHAT in 5th grade, and I quit after maybe 2 weeks because really I didn't feel like going. But in 6th grade, I moved from Churchill to Fairfield, and I started middle school. When I started middle school, I realized I'm doing nothing with my life. I didn't have any skills, talents. I really didn't do anything. I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. I wasn't cool, popular. I saw no future in my life. So I joined CHAT and I had a lot of fun. I went to tutoring Mondays and Tuesdays. I had extra activities on the weekends sometimes, and I just had a blast. And at the end of 7th grade, Murray said I could become a street leader. Well, not a big one, but like a smaller one who would just help out everybody that needed help. I said yes. So I became one of the first 3 apprentices that that CHAT had, and it was a wonderful summer. I went camping at a lot of places, went to Polyface Farms, met a lot of awesome people and did a lot of awesome things. I cataloged that one of the greatest summers of my life. The day right before 8th grade, I thought I was going to die because I couldn't have that much fun and then continue to live. It just wasn't possible. Well, the following year was interesting. I was no longer depressed. I was happy about everything. I became very optimistic. I didn't very much like suicide. It wasn't a good idea. I don't know why I ever thought so. I loved being around people, my friends. I loved joking, laughing, running around with people. And I started to develop bonds with people, even by accident, where I would just become their friend and we would just have this connection. Again, 8th grade, in the 8th grade year, he asked me if I wanted to become a street leader this time. I was like, yes. I filled out the application, went through the interview process, and I became a captain. I worked with the day camp, which was like with little kids from like 4 and under at the I think 4 through 7 at Lee Street Baptist Church, and it was awesome. I loved running around with them, laughing with them, playing with them. They were just the coolest kids I ever been with. Sometimes they had days when they would come in crying, or they didn't want to do anything, or they just didn't want to talk to anybody. But when days they came happy, optimistic, running around, it was just awesome. It's just, you couldn't help but smile with them. They were just that, I guess. Awesome. And I walked away with that summer with awesome relationships, awesome friendships, awesome everything. Beginning of the 9th grade year, he asked me if I wanted to become a street leader for the year, and I said yes. And I just love CHAT. It's just amazing how CHAT has inspired me to become things I never thought I would become. CHAT has helped define what I thought of myself. Originally, I thought of myself as a genius, a superstar. I was this guy that everybody wanted. I was important. Everybody wanted to be my friend. But I realized later in life that I wasn't that important. I wasn't a superstar. I wasn't that amazing. I frankly wasn't even that smart. But I love who I am. It's brought me a lot of highs and lows, and there's nothing better than being Chris Schofield to me. There was this quote that someone said to me. I don't remember who said it, but it was one of the best quotes I've ever heard. It said, "Everyone's trying to throw rocks at you and hurt you. You can either throw them back or you can build yourself a castle." And I'm almost done building mine. Thank you.